By the seven.
Jehovah, Jesus Christ, Holy Michael, O God, our Heavenly Father, who by His power and authority and strength and miracle in His words created heaven and earth and the man. It is time, Father, to preach your word. Father, by the power of your word, let every soul, every heart that is troubled, have a change. By this word, Heavenly Father, let every man or woman that is in chain be loosened from today. And at the end of our word today, let us be free and find a place in your kingdom. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
ògo láṣọ ìlékè, ìjìnlẹ̀ kò lẹ́ṣin, àwọn máa ń di Elédùmarè. Ọlá ọlá
ọlá rẹ̀ wọ̀ láṣọ, ògo láṣọ ìlékè, ìjìnlẹ̀ kò lẹ́ṣin, àwọn máa ń di Elédùmarè.
ọlá lẹ̀ wọ̀ láṣọ, ògo láṣọ ìlékè, ìjìnlẹ̀ kò lẹ́ṣin, àwọn máa ń di Elédùmarè. Ọlá ọlá ọlá
ọlá rẹ̀ wọ̀ láṣọ, ògo láṣọ ìlékè, ìjìnlẹ̀ kò lẹ́ṣin, àwọn máa ń di Elédùmarè.
ọlá lẹ̀ wọ̀ láṣọ, ògo láṣọ ìlékè, ìjìnlẹ̀ kò lẹ́ṣin, àwọn máa ń di Elédùmarè. Ọlá ọlá
ọlá rẹ̀ wọ̀ láṣọ, ògo láṣọ ìlékè, ìjìnlẹ̀ kò lẹ́ṣin, àwọn máa ń di Elédùmarè.
Tàlàbà fi ọwé, ta ló lè bá ọ̀dọ̀ gbà? Tàlàbà fi ọwé, ta ló lè bá ọ̀dọ̀ gbà? Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ, tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ, tàlàbà fi ọwé. Bóyá
Tàlàbà fi ọwé,
tàlàbà fi ọwé o. Kò sẹ́ni tá lè fi ọwé. Ọba tó ju gbogbo ayé lọ. Ọlọ́run lọ́dọ̀ọ́rùn lọ́ba.
fi ọwé, Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ, tàlàbà fi ọwé.
Mo tún ní tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ó tóbi ju gbogbo ayé lọ. Tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ó tóbi ju gbogbo ẹ̀dá ayé lọ. Tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ó lágbára lórí gbogbo ayé. Tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ó lágbára lórí ìṣẹ̀dá gbogbo wa. Tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ta ló lè bá ọ̀dọ̀ gbà lé? Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ. Tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ. Tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ẹ bá mi kọrin.
Tàlàbà fi ọwé, ta ló lè bá ọ̀dọ̀ gbà? Tàlàbà fi ọwé, ta ló lè bá ọ̀dọ̀ gbà? Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ, tàlàbà fi ọwé. Ọlọ́run tó jọ Ọlọ́run lọ, tàlàbà fi ọwé.
Ayé mi ti wọ́ sẹ́gbẹ̀ bò. Sábà kìkì tún ti jù. Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ yàrá wọ́n kọ̀ọ̀lẹ́. Ọmọ àbájẹ́
Ẹnìkan ò fẹ́,
ayé ayé.
ayé yìí ti wọ́ sẹ́gbẹ̀ wọ̀. Sátánì kiri fún ìlú, ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ yàrá wọ́n kọ̀ọ̀lẹ́. Ọba bàjẹ́ ẹnìkan
Hallelujah. 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 In fact, I forgot I was going to preach when the chorister was singing. The vocalist is in spirit. He just took the whole thing, the whole sermon off from the song. I thank him and I pray that God will bless him and bless the group entirely. As we know, it's not often you see people like us here starting to preach. And so once in a while when we come here to preach, we have timekeepers who keep trained and watches her, and so I'm very meticulous and conscious of the time. And for that reason, we will not go all right through every stanza, every verse of the Bible. I will employ some sister or some father or some brother who is a very good and articulate reader to read when I say read, but please don't rush. We'll look at book of Nahum. In the book of Nahum, we will not take all, but we'll look at the ones that pertain to you and pertain to me and draw our lessons from there. That will be the application of the sermon today. The book of Nahum. Nahum is not a prophet that we know that is regular. Nahum is a minor prophet which we hardly hear, but once in a while he makes this prophecy. We're going to look at the prophecy of Nahum. He made this prophecy at a very long time, and I have tagged the prophet with tags. I have personally tagged the message of today, Jehovah's judgment on Nineveh as the capital of Syria, capital of evil Syria. And when we look at that and look at his attributes, Lord's attributes, and of course look at the petitions of Nahum and the full petition and unfull petition. Because of the limited time, we will only look at the attributes of God, look at perhaps the predictions. In time is, we will talk about it, but more importantly, or most importantly, we'll look at his attributes. Because we all claim to be children of God, we claim to be celestial, we claim to be Christian. We go about holding our Bible, clutching it like the Holy Quran. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. The judgment of Nahum. When Nahum made a prophecy, he prophesied, of course, the oppression and cruelty, idolatry, and wickedness of Nineveh. As we know, the wickedness of that which he prophesied proclaimed that God had to reveal that something has to be done. When you commit so much sin, when we have offended God, or when the nation has said, or obviously, or has gone beyond bounds with God, God does something miraculous. Well, I'll remind you that, of course, when we go into our sermon proper, we remember, we won't forget the cry and, of course, the New Orleans in America. Lord was so angry with New Orleans. If you do not know, New Orleans is the center of witchcraft. New Orleans, it is the capital of witchcraft. It's the big city of witchcraft. It became so much that the Lord had to. You've never seen the seas get angry. If the seas get angry, they stand like a man. They stood up, and of course, even 30 feet, 50 feet high, upstairs, were covered by the sea. They came up from the sea, came to the land, overpowered it. Praise the Lord. And of course, Nahum, he told us that the Nahum reveals that God is also God of all people and both judgment. He judges whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you do not know God. He will judge you. So do not say, I am not a Christian or I'm not a Celestial, and therefore I can do what I like. You will be judged. And of course, in the judgment, there comes in the salvation. God judged Nineveh because she was so sinful. The sin was beyond that. In fact, Nehemiah himself, if we do not know, lest we forget, his name is Comfort. Nehemiah, I beg your pardon, the name of Nehemiah is Comfort. Nehemiah himself is my comfort. And that's what it is. That's one thing that is very spectacular and peculiar with Nehemiah and Nehemiah. Both very identical and the same name. And so, without much ado, we'll see. We will look at the attributes. We will now see exactly why Nehemiah made that prophecy. He made it because the Lord, he prophesied because it was time for the Lord to take action. When we do things, particularly those of us who are bad, if you are bad, you will continue to be bad. If you are good, you will continue to be good. And when it is time, when you take a child to the bookshop or to the supermarket, the child begins to pick more things, he begins to eat, he begins to withdraw. They take biscuits. You say, oh boy, let's go. Is it not the fact? When the child becomes destructive in the supermarket, your father or mother gets angry and says, boy, in fact, that's the end of the shopping for the day. Your mother quickly stops the shopping. The same thing when you become so wicked in this world. You hate people. You destroy people's character. Destroy people's destiny. The Lord calls you back home. May that never be your portion. Amen. We will look at the first attribute of the Lord. And that is verse 1. Yeah. Well, let us look at verse 2, sister. God is jealous.
And the Lord revenges.
He revenges.
The Lord revenges.
Of course.
And is furious.
Yes.
The Lord will take vengeance on his
Adversaries.
and he
Reserves the wrath of his enemy. Thank you, Lord. We will look at that. Because I want us to go, it is only 7 attributes. We want to look at it critically so that we don't miss anything. The Lord is jealous. Jealous. That is the name of God. Look at Exodus 34. Exodus 34:14. And see where that name jealous comes from. God is jealous of you. Yes.
For thou shalt worship no other God.
Thou shalt worship no other God.
For the Lord.
For the Lord.
Whose name is jealous.
That's fine. That's all.
He is jealous.
It's a jealous. His name is jealous. Thou shalt not worship another God, because God's name is jealous, and he is jealous of when you worship another God. How do we worship another God? I tell you. Some say, perhaps I'm traveling to Dubai today. Today is Sunday. I'm going to spend 1 week. The market there at Dubai is, of course, on Sundays. We're worshiping money. We're worshiping money. That's our priority. And that's why God says he's a jealous God. Well, of course, we find that things are difficult it is in this country. There's no help. We begin to look for help. We go for jobs. Even those whom you are more qualified and you are more educated than, get the job before you. You go cranky. Even those you think you are better off, get a job. Even those who you are more beautiful than you are more beautiful get the husband. You don't get a husband. You look at yourself at the mirror. You look front and back. I am good and lady. I am complete. Why is no man tossing me? A man, he finds that one man is driving Jaguar motor. He says, where do I get it? Why? He says, recently, I don't know who sent it to me. It must have been one person. Sent it to me on the WhatsApp. This Nigerian lady, she has 3 names. Bears the 3 names. 1, she is Miss. 1, she is disabled. one and the same picture. She has the passport of Sierra Leone, has the passport of Nigeria, has the passport of British, she has the passport of Dublin. All she has what? All has visa. She has the national insurance number for Britain, she has the national number. What am I saying? And the thing that brings the whole thing to a core, when the time was full, because we were coming to that because our time not be full now. When it was full, when they cut off her, what really brought her down was that she, in the houses, she bought 2 houses, yet when she goes to DSS, she is disabled. In the wardrobe, she has 22,000 cash. Wait a minute, it's not finished. Now, what happened? When her cup was full was when the tenant she put in the house betrayed her. She was forcing them that they must pay because the washing machine was destroyed. It was asked them, how can you repair? Why won't you repair it? Then, I'm not going to take too long. When the CIDs came to look at the house, that's where I'm going. They saw the book of the occultism. They saw all the charms. They saw all the charms, the jujus. That's what the officer called it. Because, and this is what we're talking about, God being generous. She depended on another God, and when God wanted to strike, he struck hard. You can depend on other gods. You can depend on whatever form, whatever instrument you have in your home, whether it's a charm, omelette, ring, whatever it is, jigidi, shigidi, jogodo, whatever it is. When the Lord will strike, he will strike tough. Because I can assure you, she will not go down less than 10, 15 years. And they're going to take back all the 2 houses and all the money. She's going to pay them back. Because similarly, there was another scope of the video shown, 2 boys, a boy and a girl. Nigerian boy, married to a girl. The girl lives in Croydon, she lives elsewhere. She didn't tell them they were married, and of course, the boy was claiming, she was claiming, and when the time was full, they then discovered they were married. They went to Nigeria and found the house they built that cost over £1 million. What happened? They now say they will take possession of that house. They will take all the things he's bought. At the end of the day, the court decided that everything that he has stolen is £3 million because they cannot find all. And since it is like that, he will now pay £1 million within 6 months, or else he goes for 6 years imprisonment. Praise the Lord. And therefore, the jealousy of God. If you have decided to worship God, worship Him in truth and earnest. No matter the difficulty you're going through, no matter the temptations you will have, you may not have a job today, you may not be a good person today, you may not have the right partner today, you may not ride a half husband today, your home may not be settled today, it will be settled tomorrow. Amen. Your children may not be doing well today, they will do well tomorrow. Amen. And therefore, do not think there's a shortcut to the blessing of God. There's no shortcut. You do not have a child today, the Lord will give you. Because Anna waited, she cried, she went to the temple and prayed. That just like as you do it, you are here on Wednesday, you are here on Friday, you are here on Sunday, you are here on Moon Service Day, the Lord will give you. And you don't find the right partner, the Lord will give you. There's no partner that is right. There's no husband that is the right man. There's no wife that is the right woman. Pick a woman, you turn her around. Ask God, turn her for me. Let her be the wife of my choice. And straight away will be. Turn a man round. Father, I want this man to be the man for my choice. Do whatever is the ill, what is the shortcoming, the Lord is able. The character, the behavior, He is able to do that. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. He said to us, our people, look at Deuteronomy 32, 35. Quickly. Time is running. Yeah.
Because of what they did.
Yes. I will repay. The Lord says He repays. Because in that verse 2, He says, the Lord Himself, what does He say in verse 2? In
The Lord is slow to anger.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Lord is slow to anger.
Yes,
And great in power.
yes,
And not at all agree the wicked.
yes.
The Lord has his way in the well
Thank you.
and in the storm.
So, yes. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power. The Lord will not do what? He will not acquit the wicked. If you are a wicked man, if you are a wicked woman, the Lord will not acquit you. Do not think. But He's slow to anger. He will allow you to do it every day. Can you imagine a woman putting the rat poison in the husband's soup? Put rat poison in the husband's soup. Why? Because the husband, she wants to do what? Claim the husband's insurance. And she wants to live with another man. Oh, to sue me, but mine no better. Well, of course, she has the right to do that. But remember that the Lord says He is slow to anger. But He will take revenge. He will not quit the wicked. The Lord has a way in the wild wind, in the storm. The Lord, when the Lord was crucified, and the crucifixion of the Lord, what happened then when He was crucified? There was big wind. There was big earthquake. Of course, red tumor. The people stumbled. They feared. They said, truly, this is the Son of God. If we look at Psalm 18, verse 7, what does it say? God's majesty and power. What does it say? Psalm 18, 7. Then the earth crumbled, shook, and trembled.
The foundation also of the hill.
Thank you very much. Don't want it because we're moving with quick time. It's not to tell you the earth trembled, the foundation shook. That's when the Lord was crucified, because the Lord has the power. It shows exactly the strength and power of the Lord. If we look at 3, justice and long suffering. Justice and long suffering. How long have you been waiting for your papers from Home Office? 1 year? 2 years? We have had 2 years, 5 years. We have had people who have schooled in this country. They spent 15 years. They did not have a paper. After they had schooled and graduated, on the last day when they went to Home Office, they asked, were you still in this country? And the man said, I'm surprised. Do you still want to stay? And if they were able to do that, you who have not received yours, they will give your own, they will ask you. Long suffering. We forgot, of course, Lazarus died. As I often say, he had been dead for 4 days. He had been dead, and of course, a dead man never does one look fresh. Obviously, he will get rotten. He was rotten, he was smelling, but the Lord came and called his name and said, Lazarus, arise. You have been going through suffering, either marital suffering, sickness suffering, different type of sufferings, long suffering, and ailment. The doctors have said, you have this fibroid. The doctors have said, you cannot have a baby, either male or female. Or, of course, you are not fortunate in the things you do. The long suffering. Remember, the Lord took the suffering. The Lord suffered in his own time. He took that heavy cross and walked and fell. How many times have you fallen? How many times have people not mocked at you? You failed your exam. Fail. If you can't pass, just leave the class. Fine. Remember, not all those who make first class are wealthy men. Not all those who are graduates are well-to-do. Some people are graduates yet they don't have a job. You who haven't got you are not a graduate yet to have a good job. Are you not grateful to God? You must be grateful to God. Those who have graduated, one of my classmates just died. He's a professor at Ola. While we were in Nigeria, in Biafra, he was in charge of doing the bombs in which were fighting the Nigerians. He just died. Is he still alive? I thank God I'm living. Not my making. I could have been dead in a war. It's not because I'm most clever. He was cleverer than I was, than I am. Yet he's passed on. And therefore, like I said to you, long suffering. You can suffer, but at least judge the Lord himself. Look at Nehemiah. We're not going to look at Nehemiah because Nehemiah took cover. God was angry. He took cover. He took cover because the Lord is a strong tower for those who need shelter. We'll look at number 4 quickly. He removed the sea. Thank you very much, sister. We're not going to read it because of that. That's omnipotence. Alagbara. Alagbara Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run mi alágbára. Is it? Alagbara Ọlọ́run mi.
Ọba tó láyé atẹ́kùn rẹ̀ ní ìkáwọ́, kò má sóhun tí kò lè ṣe.
Alágbára ni.
Alágbára lọ́lọ́run mi.
Ọlọ́run mi.
Alágbára ni Jésù mi. Ọba tó láyé atẹ́kùn rẹ̀ ní ìkáwọ́, kò má sóhun tí kò lè ṣe.
Is there anything difficult for the Lord to do? Even the areas, some of you who are JPs, you have been to Israel. You have seen how hard the soil is. You have seen the kind of laterites. You have seen the kind of pebbles. In that pebble, I like to try to dig to is when I see water. Yet when I see the mighty of the tomatoes coming out, I was looking at them. And you look at the plant like this. Kure kure. With big tomatoes. And so the Lord is saying, in that of God, He made the Red Sea because of His power. The Israelites, they themselves, the children of Israel, crossed over. He dried the sea. See, put aside. Move to the side. My children want to pass. What is difficult in your own case? He can tell the Home Office, shut up, bring the file out, stamp it. The Holy Spirit. The illness in your body. I could say I want to die. Who are you? Does the life belong to you? Can any man give you happiness? This husband say he won't marry me again. Is that the end of life? This woman says she's packing out of her house. Fine, she packs out. That is not the end of life. The Lord will give you happiness. The Lord will give us happiness. We go to the next one, holiness and God. Holiness and God. Who can stand before His indignation? Who can have her? End of the day, of course. Look at Revelation 6:17, sister, quickly. Because the great day is the great tribulation. Revelation 16:17. Yes. Yes. 16:17. Yes. 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 No. 7 days, that's fine. Yes. 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 It is done. On the last day, you will stand before God. That's the tribulation. That's what is telling us the holiness of God. That was what the song said. At a way, at a mode, you all stand together. That's what the Lord is saying to us. Do not mind somebody doesn't like you. Do not care if somebody hates you. If God loves you, what do you care if somebody else loves you? What do you care if the queen hates you, but your father loves you? And therefore, the holiness of God, what is telling us, for as long as you are holy, because the Lord you worship is is holy. Be holy in your own self, in your deed, or when you're walking, or your deed, in your family, in your school, in your home. Let them see it through your action, your behavior, but what they say upon your children or your husband. Some people are extremely wicked. They don't want the progress of their own sister. They see you say hallelujah. The Lord is wonderful. What He reveals about people in this people is wonderful. I see them and I just laugh. I say, people can that wicked? Really? I just fear God and I tread carefully. May the Lord in His mercy make us fear Him. Finally, the goodness and obedience. Let us look at number. Let us look at 7. Go.
The Lord is wrong.
Yes. Thank you, my darling. The Lord knows the son said, I know my sheep, and my sheep knows me. The Lord knows who trusts Him. I can come in here every day, 7 days, every time they ring the bell. Before they ring the bell, I'm here. When I get home, I don't trust the Lord. I open my small box. I want to catch Jeanette. She's bad. It's not funny. It's not funny. You lock people's lock. Nothing. You just lock people's progress. You just lock it. With a shelation. You don't want her. You cannot reach her because God is protected her because of the blood of Jesus who is her. You go to her children. The poor innocent children begin to suffer. That will not be our portion. All those who believe and trust in God are like Mount Zion that cannot be moved. And I said to you, it's spoken by Hezekiah. When he took the refuge, Hezekiah took refuge on the Lord. And we have Hezekiah. Our father here is our Hezekiah. Our father here has an altar, has a temple. We will all take the shield. Our enemies will fail. Amen. Finally, we will go now to the second one. Because of time, I am beginning to. I'm running quickly. Let us go to the second lesson. Ephesians 6.
Finally.
Just before you go, just before we go into Ephesians 6, I did promise that there were predictions that Nahum fulfilled. And there were predictions he didn't fulfill. I'm sorry I will not be able to give you those predictions now, but it is suffice it to say, these predictions have come out of the prophecy. If we look at, let me give you an instance. With an overwhelming running forward, if you look at verse 8 to 9, that's in the prediction.
Knowing that whosoever good things any man do,
yes,
the same shall he receive of the Lord.
Yes.
Whether it be bond or free.
That's fine.
And he master, do the same thing unto them, forbearing, tricking, knowing that your master also is in heaven. Neither is there any respect of person with him. Thank you very much. In the predictions with an running flood, he will make an altar end of linen, which he did. When he sent Jonah, he made, of course, he flooded it. The same thing, all those who are pursuing you, all those who do not want to survive, all those who do not want to progress, they will be flooded. Amen. That's the prediction. The same prediction I'm making for you today. If you do not know how powerful the water is, don't mess about with water. Put 80 tons of car on the road and let the tap in the kitchen there overflow. When it overflows for 4 days, you will move this car out of the road. And therefore, every problem, every enemy who occupies the road, the flood will flush the road. We'll go to the next one. Finally. No, we're going now to Ephesians. Yes. Finally, yes. My brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of of God,
Yes.
that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That's what I want. As you are aware, Paul the apostle was a great thank you, sir. He was a great apostle. And through him, the church in the world at large came to be. Without Paul, and of course through Paul the apostle, we got the mantle and authority for the churches to exist. This was the first assignment that the Lord had given Paul regarding church building, church ministry, church standing, and he built as many churches as possible. There were two assignments. The first assignment was the building of the church. The second assignment was waging war against spiritual warfare, against wickedness. And that is exactly what has brought us into Ephesians 6. And that's why the Lord said, finally, after you have now built the churches for me, that's why Paul said, finally, underline that word, finally. Finally, he says, finally, be empowered. Be empowered. How can we be empowered? Our strength cannot do it. You cannot wage war against, you cannot fight the Satan. The Satan is powerful. But we have a master who will overcome Satan. That's why he's telling us to do what? To take his shade from him, to get his grace, to get his power, that he will empower us. And that's what he's telling us. That's what Ephesians 6 is telling us. He explains to us, and when he goes finally, that at last, empowerment is you being strong in spirit. Some people have had temptations. They do what? They start crying. I don't know. I don't know. But Christ does not listen to your cry. Our Lord, our God, does not look at your cry. You can cry from today till the next 365 days. What he requires of you is be strong in spirit, to be prayerful, arm yourself, and that's he said, the armor, when he says, put on the whole armor. The whole armor is to be prayerful. The whole armor is to hold him and him alone. Not one babalawo. Not sitting down and expecting one prophet, expecting one shepherd, expecting some crafty or some tricky. Look at what a man who calls himself a pastor did in what's called in South Africa. The pastor in South Africa, after he was driven here, he went to South Africa to plant churches. And he was sleeping with children of 14, 15, 16. Yet he had no power. It was only the Lord's power. And he was caught in the toilet when he wanted to stop and run away. Because we believe and trust in man. Do not put your trust in any man. Not a prophet. No prophet is special. Only God is special. No man is special. Only God is special. What God cannot do, no man can do it. The prophet is only an agent. The prophet can pray for today and tomorrow. If the Lord says no, there's no. If he says yes, it's yes. The prophet change what the prophet has said and it becomes real. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. So let us look at it finally. And the armor that we put. Let us. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm looking at the time because I don't want my timekeeper to tell me. Let us look at verse 11. Put the armor. Not just the same. They say put on the whole armor. By putting on the whole armor, we remember this. The first chapters has been positive. The first 5 chapters of the Ephesians is positive for the churches. The churches in Ephesus. In Ephesus, they have been successful because Paul had planted those churches. They were success. And after the first 5 chapters, coming to the 6th, it became warfare unto the churches. And that warfare is where you and I have fallen in. And that's when the devil has started waging war on the churches. And that's why the Lord is telling on that. When you look at verse 11.
Put on the whole armor of God.
Yes.
That he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
The wile of the devil. That we will be able to stand against the wile of the devil. The devil comes in a different form. The wile of the devil, he comes in the wind. He comes in different form. The wile of the devil, in the form that sometimes he stigmatizes into the air, there's sickness. With that, you've not been sick. You have been well. You have been strong. Suddenly, there's this spot. And that spot, the doctor says, it is this name. They give it one malignant name. They call it whether cancer or they call it whatever it is. It's not abortion. But we know that we put on the armor that you and I, the armor that we have is a breastplate, is a template. The template in the computer is your breastplate, and your breastplate is your power, is your prayer, your word, your fasting, your prayer, your dedication, your pure dedication to God and God alone. Not haphazardly. I worship today in Celestial. Tomorrow I am Mrs. Mama Musika's church. I go to Mama Musika's church. She gives me this black soap. And then you say you are dedicated to God. You are not dedicated to God. I did later did I know that some of the most pastors, some of them are mixing black magic into worship. Yet Celestials go there and ask for prayer and ask for soap. And so that's what the Holy Spirit is telling us today. Put on the armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You could use the prophet, you could use prophets. I'm not saying that all prophets are righteous. I'm not saying that all the shepherds are righteous. I'm not saying that all the pastors are righteous. But be careful where you go. Be careful for who you go to pray for. Be careful for who you kneel down for. What you have gold, and you are looking for platinum. The jewel in the crown. The jewel in the crown is the gold that we have here in Celestial Church. All you need to do is to pray Jehovah, Jesus Christ, Holy Michael, and leave the rest. That's all. You have done your bit. Jehovah, Jesus Christ, Holy Michael, Lord Heavenly Father, I want to get money. Make my loan, the loan that I owe, or the loan that I've taken. Father, let me find mercy. The next day, the bank writes to Mrs. Philip. We're glad to tell you that out of the 10,000 you've taken, we're asking you to pay 5,000. Leave the 5. It has happened. It has happened. Because He is a Father who makes impossible possible. Because you have the armor of God in you. You want to go to the bank, you don't have requisite qualification to get a loan. Don't be scared. You have Jesus Christ. You have our Lord. Go talk to the bank manager. Face him. Sir, I want a loan to carry out my duties, to do my responsibility. How much do you want, Mr. Philip? I want 4,000. Okay, I'll come back next week. All right, we have considered we will give you 3,000. It has happened. Because you do what? You have God with you. Because, like what He said to us, He has given us, He said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. You have overcome them. Even then, these principalities, in 2 Corinthians 10, 2 Corinthians 10, 3 to 4. Look at it. Because the weapons of our war, what does it say? God.
For though we walk in the flesh,
Yes.
we do not war according to the flesh.
Yes.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal,
They are not carnal.
but mighty in God.
Yes.
For pulling down strongholds.
Yes.
Casting down arguments and every high thing.
Yes.
That exalts itself against the knowledge of God.
Okay, sister, well, I'm going to stop you there. And therefore, you as children of God, the blood of Jesus Christ is upon us. And therefore, He has given us this armory. He knows that we do what? That our wars are not carnal. He knows that we wage wars that we cannot see. Even I didn't know that when the musicians who have been singing the song, sang the song, I had not been reading the Bible more frequently when they obey sang the song. Thank you very much. When he sang the song, I didn't know. And therefore, please, let us, because the time is up now, we'll look at verse 12.
So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Thank you very much. What is the blood of flesh? The blood of flesh refers to you as a man. Our composition is flesh and blood. That's what the Bible says on it. Purpose of that is that we wrestle against flesh and blood, and that's what the devil is waging war against. The devil's creation, the purpose of the devil being created is to wage war against the work of God. The work of God is you and me, who are flesh and blood. He has told the Lord that He will wage war on whatever thing that He has created. And we, the children of God, or human beings in general, who are blood and water, the devil is waging war day in, day out. And finally, even then, if we look at verse 12, He still tells us that, but against principalities, against powers, the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Where are the high places? That's the point I want to bring. I want you to know there are two types of demons. The high priest, there's two types of them. Satan is the high priest. He has the demons. These demons attack us. They take our case and the problem onto the high priest. We have small demons who bring temptation. The temptations we have may come from small painful things. We begin to lose things. I have accidents. These are small ones. The deep ones are taken over to the high priest. So I want you to be careful. I want you to take note of that. That when we wrestle against flesh and blood, it is not just an ordinary thing. The small demons that are attacking us now. But if you leave yourself empty, the big demons, he takes your case. If it is a strong case, they take it over the high priest, Satan himself. And our prayer, because we have God, Satan will not have less over us. We will not fall for the temptation. May the Lord answer our prayers. Thank you for today.